But then we went to the Kaiser fire, which was in the 200 block of State Street, and we had apartments upstairs, and of course that was my biggest concern arriving on the fire, was to make sure that there was no one in the building. And we sent guys in and tried to keep track of them. We lost one guy up there, Andrew Frasz, and we lost him for a little while up there. I kept trying to talk to him over the radio, and I said, just feel the walls until you get to where you can feel a window, and find a window. I said, jump out. The most that can happen is you break a leg, because we can't get to you.
And I met two Kane County deputies, sheriff's deputies, and they were talking to a gentleman, and he said him and his wife had gotten separated on the second floor of the building, which was just billowing smoke. The entire first floor was on fire, and but the windows hadn't broken out, so it was kind of just sort of baking and cooking, and needed oxygen. And so I went up the stairs, put on an air pack, which is our breathing device, went up the stairs and started searching. Visibility was absolutely zero. You might as well have painted over the mass black. And I just started searching the building and went into a couple of the apartments, crawling, of course, because of the heat and smoke, and couldn't find anything, and kept crawling around, and eventually I lost my way and couldn't find my way out. Time went by, and I could hear music playing, and I was on the radio with the chief, and I kept telling him, if you can hear the music, that's where I'm stuck, that's where I'm trapped. And time went by, and my air pack started running out of air. There was a bell device that kind of ticked off. The more air you ran out of, the slower the bell ticked. So it was very discerning to kind of hear your life ticking away. And I finally ran out of air, and we were trained to unscrew the hose off the regulator and stick it under your shirt to help filter out the smoke. And I tried to get out of this room twice and kept running into furniture and clothing and the ironing boards and kitchen. I could hear all the dishes breaking in the kitchen as I tried to feel my way out. And finally, after the third try, I knew that was it. And I was on my out of air and on my hose, breathing through my hose stuck in my shirt. And I broke all the rules that we were trained of. And I stood up and I took off my gloves and I put my fingers on the wall and just methodically just went around the whole wall, trying not to panic. And turned out I went the wrong way, because I went around the whole room and finally got back to almost the original spot, and I fell the window, and it was the greatest feeling in the world. And I wouldn't have cared if I was on the 5th floor. I broke the glass with my hands, cut my hands up pretty bad, and just jumped through the window. Was actually back at the scene the next day and looking things over, and got some ribbing from the firemen because I was only there about half an hour and got all the publicity. So.